fast enough, and that chemistry stops mid-job. Tobacco proved the concept decades ago. Curing barns deliberately hold leaves warm and humid through a stage literally called yellowing, so the green gets dismantled before the dry completes, and leaf that gets rushed comes out green and rough. Nobody has measured this directly in our flour yet, and I'll say that plainly. But the mechanism is textbook biochemistry, not vibes. A slow dry holds that door open, a fast dry slams it. Now for the part of the smoothness story you should throw away, the claim that the slow dry burns off leftover starches and nutrients.
Don't yell at them, man, boo. You don't like when I yell at you?
Has been tested. A controlled trial ran 0, 7, 10, and 14 days of plain water before harvest, then sent everything to the lab and to a blind taste test. Mineral content in the flour. No meaningful difference. Potency, no difference. Terpenes, no difference. And the tasters, who didn't know which sample was which, actually leaned toward the flour that was never flushed at all. If 2 full weeks of flushing can't move leftover nutrients, a slow dry isn't doing it either. Keep the slow dry. Drop that explanation. And if there's a piece of growing folklore you want, run through the evidence next, put it in the comments. So, if it isn't starches, what is hay smell? Chemistry, your nose already knows. When leaf tissue is wounded and dying, its own enzymes chop membraned fats into small 6-carbon fragments. Leaf aldehydes, the same molecules a freshly mowed lawn releases. Your nose detects some of them at a fraction of a part per billion. That is the smell of hay. And a rough, fast dry serves it to you two ways at once. It strands that grassy chemistry in the tissue, and it boils off the terpenes that would have covered what's left. Chlorophyll takes the blame because you can see it.
You want me to get off your game, boo?
The color of an unfinished dry, not the odor of one. Hay smell is subtraction.
Dad, go play the game. Watch TV.
The good
quiet.
was left, and the grass stayed. Here's what I can't show you, and you should notice when nobody else admits this. There is no controlled study that hangs whole plants next to bucked buds from the same harvest in the same room and measures both sides. It has never been run. The physics is solid, the tobacco and food science are strong, and grower experience points the same direction. But head-to-head data in flour does not exist. And on this channel, no direct evidence gets said out loud. What does exist is something better than a comparison. A published number for when you're done. It's called water activity, a scale from 0 to 1 that measures how available the moisture in your flour actually is. The published consensus standard for dried flour is a window, 0.55 to 0.65. Above 0.65, mold has what it needs to grow. Below 0.55, you are in breakage territory. And notice where 60% relative humidity at equilibrium sits, right in the middle of that window. The 60-60 crowd has been orbiting a real number for years without knowing its name, and the stem snap test we've covered before is a folk proxy for this same measure. 2 practical consequences. First, measure at the flower, not the stem. The stalk staying damp for days after your buds reach the window is expected, not a signal to keep drying. Second, there is no